So I think we are back online. Okay, so last time, like in the last live stream, I saw that after installing Docker Desktop, I was not able to like run the Docker command on the terminal. So if I would type Docker here, it will not run the command, and it will say Docker command not found. So like I had to restart my machine after installing Docker Desktop. So I think like it will add into the path and like do some sort of things, but let's see. So yep, we are back with Docker running up and running. We can see that all the commands are there, and so right now we do not have any image or like volumes, containers, etc. So we are going to follow this tutorial written by Shinichi Okada. I hope I pronounced that right. Okay, so this one starts from installing Docker Desktop to actually like installing Jupyter Docker stacks, and then like up to the publishing your own image to the Docker Hub. So it seems pretty good to start from. So right now I have Docker Desktop installed. So the next command that we are going to run and I'll leave these settings like resources setting as default in the Docker Desktop application. I do not like care about how much GPU and memory it is using. So next thing is that Docker groups the command logically into management commands. Here are the top level commands. So if we see the Docker output, then you can see that we have these commands right over here, all the like commands, I guess. So yep, and then we have this Docker container help and Docker image help. If you want like see all the commands with Docker container, then Docker so it will show like what are the commands that you can club with the Docker container, and it is working a little bit slow. I do not know if it is because my PC is slow and like low end PC, or is it because I'm running a lot of things, maybe. So yeah, leave it. So we have some commands with the Docker container. So Docker container exec, and then like kills log, ls, pause, port, and all these things. So we are not going to go through all of this command, but like we'll just bare minimum start a Jupyter notebook inside a Docker container, and then let's see if we are able to run the Jupyter notebook on a browser or not. And by the way, I'm not a data scientist, but I'm just trying this out to like see if I can start something very different, which I'm not familiar with. So but I have used Docker Jupyter notebook previously for like maybe nothing. I would say it was just for fun how it works, but nothing for anything serious. So yep, let's start this Docker run command. So this one is like pulling out minimal notebook. So this Docker minimal notebook, I guess I had opened it already. So so it is minimal Jupyter notebook is tagged from github.jupyter.docker stacks. So it has pretty good number of pulls. So yep, let's start. Let's run the command. So right now what we are going to do is that it will pull the minimal notebook from the Docker app, and then it will map the port 8888 to 8888 on like my host machine. So yep, let's see if it works. First let me clear the terminal, and maybe let me increase the size a little bit. So yep, so unable to find image on the local machine, so it will pull from the Docker hub. So let's see. So right now it is pulling all the layers from which this image is built. So like image is built by layer, like different layers for all kind of dependency, I guess. So now let's see if we'll be able to like access this on localhost 8888, and let's see how it works. So I'm trying it out for the first time, so it might not be possible that I'm able to actually like see or like even success. Things should be pretty same, because like I saw that this person is also like mapping some directories to the working directory, so like mounting volumes, I guess. Yeah, but these things are for Mac. For Windows, like I also used to work on Linux, but right now I'm working on Windows. So let's see what happens. Yeah, this is pretty nice. What she has done is that what this person has done, that you can format the docker ps command. He added the .bash profile, and then you can see in a like really beautiful way id image and all these things. But how that will work in Windows, I do not know. I'll have to see. So this one is downloading. This is pretty big image. What was the image size? Do we get the image size as well somewhere? Yeah, so 455 MB. Okay, so do we have yep. So sorry, I have a little bit cough. So right now we can see that it has started something over here with let's click if it works. Yup, we have Jupyter Lab. Nice. Wow, so this was like kind of easy. So we have these many like consoles, notebooks, and all these things. So this is Jupyter Lab. It has changed a lot since I used it maybe 3 or 4 years back. So now what we need to do is that now we are like able to pull this command and access. So let's access /tree. Do we get something here? Yup. So work, and inside this work we have like this empty. Now we can create Python 3 kernel, I guess. Yep. And if I type something like print there, then it should print. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put double quote. Yep, hi there. And how do we enter like one more print 5 plus 10? So this one will also work. Okay, so now we are able to actually run the Jupyter notebook, and like from and we can see that we have started one container that is running on port 8888. Okay, so uh, and I forgot to start the timer, but leave it. Okay, so now what is next? So it's a bit hard to read the above output. Let's create a formatting docker ps in Windows. Let's see how it is in the Windows. Yep. So this one is for what? This one is also like how to do it in inside window. I do not know. Let's see. In Windows, docker ps. Okay, so leave it. I guess leave it for now. We'll see how to like permanently make this change. This the one that this person has done. So they have modified the bash profile, so like it will display in a really nice format, and you can use it by adding to the format option for docker. So docker ps and then format is format. So they have like defined this variable and then it will take it. Okay. So now what do we do? So docker container ls, and then let's see if we run the docker container ls command on a like maybe another this one. So yep, we can see that we have one image running created 5 minutes ago, and it is mapping like from Docker's network to the host network on port 8888, and the name is something like randomly assigned by Docker, which we could have assigned ourselves as well. So yeah, entering the Docker container and using bash. So now we can actually enter inside this Docker container and like see what are the things are there installed. So we can run docker exec and then /it for interactive terminal, I guess, then the docker id, docker container id, and then /bin/bash. So bash is like the entry point where we should be able to access docker, like we should be able to get inside the docker and see. Yep, now you can see that we are inside the docker. So this is the username, and then this is the like port and the host. So you can see that the terminal has changed a little bit, and right now we are inside the docker. And if I type maybe Python version, will it see? Yeah, so we can see that Python is installed inside this docker container. So yep. Okay, so now what? This image is IPython and Conda as well, so we can see that IPython is installed and Conda also installed. So these things are like necessary for data science people. Yep. Sorry for that noise continuously. It might be irritating, but I was a little bit sick. So yeah, we can also see that like all the Python dependencies that are installed with this pip list command. So if I run this pip list, so you can see all these things are installed inside it. Conda, and then decorator, and then all those things, Jupyter related things. Yep. Okay. So to exit, I can type exit, and then it will take me out of the container that is running. So stopping and removing the container anyways. So container ls, you can stop a container by like docker container stop and then container id. So once I stop, I won't be able to like access all these things. If I save it by some name, let's save this demo. Yep, then it should be here, demo.ipavui. Okay, so next what we need to do, you can list the images. So like I can stop the container now with this command. First docker container ls and then docker container, then stop, and then container id, right? Yep, docker container stop and then container id. So now it should stop. Yep, we can see that it is shutting down. So now we won't be able to access this one anymore. So yep, like it has stopped. Okay, next we can find all the containers including inactive containers. So like if I do the docker container ls command, then I'll not get any kind of input because like it shows only the active containers that are running. You can see that it doesn't show any container. But if I do docker container ls and then maybe -a, right, -all, yeah, so it will show me all the containers which are inactive as well, the one that we created, stick gray. Okay, now we need to see docker images. So if I do docker image, then let's see, it will open up. Yep, so you can see that the image that we pulled from Docker Hub is here. And it has tag and then image ID, and then like size is 1.5 GB approximately, which is like minimal notebook right now, and it has 1.5 GB size. Nice. So next stuff that you can remove an image, which I'm not going to do. Then you can force remove. So if I try to remove a docker image with this docker rmi image id, then it will not remove because one container is already using that image. So I'll have to force remove it. If so, /f command will do the work. -rm, you can run a container with -rm to automatically clean up the container when exit the container. So yeah, you can also run Jupyter run and then -rm, and then once you exit the container, it will like clean up everything. Like it will not retain its state or like whatever. You can combine the option with IT, and like you can play around with all sort of things, like combining, like interactively opening the uh, terminal inside the Docker container, and then once you exit it and once you stop the container, everything is gone. So let's try this one actually. So first what we are going to do is we will delete the container probably, right? So let's spin up another container with Jupyter minimal notebook image. So if I run this command, and by the way, you can also see all sort of like things happening on the Docker desktop. So we have this image which is in use, then right now we do not have any volume, and then container. So right now you see that this one is one that we created previously, which is exited, and right now this one is running. So you see that like dash it get me into the interactive terminal inside the Docker container using this bash. So and now we have this rm command. So let's check out. So once we exit, then I hope, yep, you can see that container is gone. So but once we exited this old one, it was not gone because we did not use this dash rm command. So yep, now connecting the local directory to a Docker container. So this is the something which is important actually, because like whatever I have, so let me do one thing to demonstrate. Where is the Docker container? Let's start it again. For now I'm doing it from the UI. You can do the same thing from the terminal. So if I like go to, you can see that right now it is there, but wait, so it has maintained all the like state. So again inside that Docker container we can see, but one problem that might occur, that it will not, like if you save any kind of file or create any kind of file, so like it will be inside the Docker container, like it will not mount. So Docker mounting basically, wait, let me explain you in a better term. Docker volume mounting. So volumes are the preferred mechanism for persisting data generated by and used by Docker containers. Yeah, so you can see that whatever we do inside a container, so if we are like dealing with any kind of data such as like model training, images, or like CSV files and all those things, so they are not persistent inside the Docker container until unless we have mounted the volume, like where do we want to store the output file, or like from where to get the input file. So for that we use Docker volumes. So right now we can see that this is the container, and then we bind the volume from the file system. This is like inside the file system we have that Docker area, and then like container also. In addition, volumes are often a better choice than persistent data in a container writable layer, because a volume does not increase the size of the container using it. Okay, and the volumes contents exit outside the lifecycle of given container. So if your container generates non-persistent state data, consider using TMPFS mount to avoid storing data anywhere permanently, and to increase the container's performance by avoiding writing to the container's writable layer. Okay, so what do we call it? TMPS, temporary TMPFS, I guess temporary file system. Yeah, might be. So yep. So if you're running Docker on Linux, you have third option, temporary file system. I'm just calling it temporary file system. I do not know if that is what it is called. TMPS, TMPFS. When you create a container with TMPFS mount, the container can create files outside the container writable layers. As opposed to volumes and binds mounts, a TMPS mount is temporary and only persisted in the host memory. When the container is stopped, the TMPFS mount is removed and files written there won't be persisted. Got it. So right now our aim is to actually persist the data, because like whenever you are training some model, then you will be going back to again the same data set to again like see if your model is improving or not. So for that we need persistent data, right? So how do we do it? Now the bigger question is, I should be using Linux actually. It is so easy to do like all sort of development on the Linux. So right now you can see that this person has mounted volume of this user and then your directory to the directory inside the Jupyter notebook. So it will be there like /home/ Jovian /work. So this is the mounted volume actually. So this is your host machine location, and this is the location inside the container. Okay, if you want to use the current working directory, use pwd for present working directory. So let me try one thing actually. Let me try this command and see if it works or not, because this command is for Mac. I do not know if it will work for other one. Let me stop this one first. So again, what we are going to do, sorry. So copy this command and let's run it. But pwd will be recognized by Windows or not, I do not know. Yup, Docker invalid reference format, Docker unhelp. I think this one will be creating the problem because this command is not like pwd is not found in Windows. No, it is there. Nice. So sorry, there was some internet issue, so sorry for that. Next thing that we are going to do is this is not cloud run. We are going to Docker mount volume on Google. I typed Google, Windows. Use volumes mount. Just I need to know Docker and Windows mounting host directories. Yup. So slash, like you can see that if you want to like mount, then c/users, then data. Let me try this format, it might help. So if I do docker run, then this pwd we need to change it. And how do we change it? Docker wait, slow. So first c, then colon, then slash, then users, then slash rango. Then let me put it inside my docker files. Okay, so yep, and then docker run this, and then let me open the interactive terminal as well so that I can like enter inside it and see how it is working. So /it docker run after port, I guess, right? Let me run it interactively as well. /it, then we are mounting the volume, then the name of the image, and add that bash, right? Yup, I hope this will work. If not, then we'll find out. So yup, it seems working. And my docker, do I have this file location? Let me check. First we go into the C, then users, then rango, my docker files. Yeah, actually it created my docker files. So right now I do not know if I should show it or not. So yep, you can see that it created my docker files. So now let me show you interesting thing. So right now inside we are inside the docker container, right? If I do ls, then we can see that we have this work directory, and that one is like mounted from here, we can see. So now if I create like touch, if touch command works in, if it has, let me see if touch works or not. Touch demo.txt, it works. So now if I go inside my docker file, I think okay, so I need to go inside the work and then like create the demo.txt. So cd work and then touch demo.txt. Yep, you can see the demo.txt has been created over here, and this one is like my local file, local machine file. So we mounted our local like host machine file to the containers one. So right now inside work we can see that we have demo.txt. Now even if we like exit this terminal, right, so we will have all this data. So like so suppose that you want to store all your what do we call it, like training data inside this my docker files. So suppose let me create one folder as well. So demo folder, and inside that folder let me create one file, text file, demo2 whatever. So now this location has been mounted at this particular location inside the docker container. So if I do ls, then you can see that I have that folder, the one that I created inside the file command. What do we call this application? I don't know. File manager, right? This one is file manager. Okay, so inside the file manager, like, we can access. So let me exit the command. I could have used the rm command as well, so that if I exit, then it will kill all the containers data and all those things. So right now I have exited, but you can see that all the files are still there, like they are not gone. It is a persistent data. And again, like let me show you one more example. Let me delete both of these containers, and what are we going to do now? We will run the same command but we'll also pass the -rm flag. Dash rm, right? It was rm, I guess. Yeah, -rm. So -rm. So now what will happen, it will create a container, but as soon as we exit out of it, it will destroy all the like data related to it. So let me run this container and you will be able to see, yeah, now it is starting and it has started. Now see the beauty. We mounted this location from like our machine to the like inside the Docker container. So if I ls, I'll again see that we have work. Now if you remember, I also created one demo.txt over here like out like in the root directory, but now that one is gone. That demo.txt is no more. Wait, let me show you. It cannot go up. Okay, no, it is there. Okay, so see, this was the command that I ran, right? And then I ran the ls, then we have this work, but then I created a demo.txt inside like the root directory of inside the container. So it created this demo.txt, but I again ran the same command and I'm inside the ls, but I do not see that demo.txt. Why? Because like that one was created inside the container. So this location, like root location, is mounted nowhere, but rather if we go inside the work directory, so this location is now mounted to this particular location in on my host machine. So whatever we do inside, like whatever file we create inside it, it will be persistent. But if we are creating anything outside like mounted volume location, then it will not be persistent. As soon as the what do we call it, like container is destroyed, everything will be destroyed. So now if I do ls, then I should be able to like see all this like folder and files. So let's do it. Ls. Yup, so you can see that I have this demo folder and then demo.txt, then I can cd into demo folder and then do ls, then we have demo22.txt. okay. So yep, so that one is done. Then connecting the local directory to a Docker container, that one is done. Now like we can access all of our data. If we are like planning, we can put all of our like data science related stuff, all our what do we call it, Jupyter notebooks and all those stuff, and it will work. Do we have, yeah, right now we have this. Hey, by the way, let's see. Error, right? So why do we have an error? Is it stopped? Wait, we are inside it and it is running port 8888. So open in the browser. Okay, so we have a problem here, and what it is, why am I not able to access it? Did I mount it? Docker run. Yep, like I map the port Okay, so we have a problem. Let me kill this this one. And let me remove this rm command as well. Then mounted volume and docker run. Yeah, now it seems good. Let me remove this interactive terminal as well, so I do not need to get inside the terminal. Let's see. Yep. So it is working. I do not know, previously it was not working, but now you'll see something /tree. Now see, we have work, and then we have all the folders that we want. This is like we are able to access everything inside. So you see, when we mounted this location and with this inside the container, so inside work, that this work directly will be mapped with the my docker files, and you can see that we are able to access Jupyter lab, and we can actually create yeah, let's do one thing. Let me create one Jupyter notebook and name it testing 123 1213, rename. Then what I'll do, I'll print persistent data inside the docker container and let's run it. And then what I'll do, I'll save it. I saved it. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'll kill this docker container. First let me see if this one is created. Right, this one is created. Now let me kill this docker container. First I'll stop and then I'll delete. Suppose that you deleted your docker container. Now this website will obviously not be accessible, but let me start the docker container again with the same command. Yep, so we have the container running, and let me access. So again, once we go inside work directory, not work but tree/work. Yep, you can see that I have that Jupyter notebook, and like I can open it and I should be able to see all the details. Yep, so it is persistent data. Even if I deleted the container, you can see that the data is still persistent. So this is the like beauty of mounting the volume if you want any kind of persistent data. So up next, inspecting a container, we can inspect with the container ID, and then it will like show you all the details about the containers. Let me show you. Docker inspect. Docker inspect, and then what is the container ID? where is the container id? Docker ps. I need to first run docker ps. And then we'll take a container id, then docker, what was the command? Inspect, docker inspect, and then container id. Then it will show me all the details related to that container. Like, so one interesting thing that I want to show you is volume. Where is that volume? Where is that mount? Yep, mount. So you can see that source and destination. So source is like my host file location, so C user Rango and then my docker files, and destination is inside the docker container, so home and then Jove, yarn, then work. So you can see all these details with the inspect command and config, and then like host name, user, and all those things. Yep. So I think we are good to go. And then you can see ports, like host IP and host port. So this one is like localhost, and then it is like mapping like host IP to the inside the container. So yep, getting started with docker file. Now now we see that all we have is like one docker container running, but we want some extra things inside this container, like inside this image. So we saw that we have few things using like pip command. We saw that we have a lot of dependency installed inside this docker image, but what if we want something more than that? So in that you will have to like create your own container where you can like your own image, and where you can like create your own image and then start a container out of that image. So for that you need a docker file. So from docker file you can create an image, and you can like push that image onto the docker hub, and then anyone can, like not anyone, but you can use that docker image wherever you want. So let us build a docker file. So let us install all Python packages. When you are creating a container, create a new directory and a file called docker file with the following content. Okay, so do we need to do it inside docker build command, right? Docker build /t, and then this one from the current directory, then run docker build, docker and then port, and then like mounting the volume. And okay, so let me take a break. I think I need to take some break for 20 minutes, and then I'll finish this tutorial, like this setup. I have already pushed one docker container, but I'm just curious that I'll have to create this this file in the current working directory, right? Docker file. Let me do it right now. So let me kill this docker container. This one is not required. Stop and then delete. I do not need you right now. ls Giri my docker file. What is this my docker file? So what we'll do, we'll create the docker file over here, but let me create one like docker image directory, mkdir docker image. Okay, so now cd into docker image. Now we are inside docker image. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to create one docker file. So touch docker file, touch is not found because it is Windows. So docker image. Let me create one. How do I create one? Open in Windows terminal. Touch equivalent of Windows. What is this? This is Windows sucks sometimes. Shortcut, bit image, text document. I just need to create. Let me open this file inside VS Code, and there we can do. Touch is not working. So where are we? We are inside WSL2, which I do not want. I need. First, let me see. Okay, so nope, we are inside WSL2. I need to get out of it. Close remote connection. Yes, close it, please. Now, if I open terminal, where are we? ls a lot of things. cd docker images touch docker file. Yup, we have a docker file here. Nice. Now let me open this docker file as well. So code dot, I hope this command works in Windows. Okay, so this one is working. Yeah, trust. Now what do we do? We take this. First of all, I'm not sure if this will even work. Docker file, copy paste. So args base container, this one from base container. We could have put from directly here, although it is a best practice to put args, but it's okay. Then label author, I'll create mine. User root, then run pip install pandas numpy matplotlib and ly, whatever. Switch back to this one to avoid accidental container runs as root, and then user nbuid. I do not know what does this does, but let's create this image. Now docker build. So first what we need to do, we are inside docker image. If we ls, then we can see that we have this docker file. Now we need to run docker build. Docker build /t. What is this? I think I need to put my username over here. Let's see. If it fails, it fails. We do not care. We'll fix it. Jupyter notebook and then dot. So what it will do, I think, as per my knowledge, it will create an image from this Docker file inside this directory. Yeah, that's what it will do. Let us see. Yup, it is creating, and I hope nothing fails. Warnings are okay. Collecting pandas, downloading pandas, numpy. Nice. Okay, so let this process complete. Okay, use Docker scanner. So I think we have the image. Let's see. Docker images. Yup, you can see that I have that image created. So from the Docker file, we are able to like use the base. What do we call it? Base notebook. That is Jupyter notebook, and then add some extra things inside it, like install pandas, numpy, and all those things, and then create our own what do you call it, image. So if I do docker image ls, then it should show it, which is like being showed over here as well. So now now we can run that actually. Let's run that docker image that we created. So docker run we need to change it. Docker run, I hope that docker run. Yep, docker run, then user. But the only thing that we are going to change is that what is the name of our image? Akash Giri Jupyter notebook, Akash Giri CSC. So instead of AKSHGRACSC, so now we are using the local image. So Akash Giri CSC minimal Jupyter notebook. We did not name it something different. We should have. Okay, so but it's fine. Let's see and hope it will work. Unable to find. Wait. I think we have some. Yeah. Let is not found. I think we made a mistake while creating the Docker image. We have this latest. Do I also need to pass the latest tag? Maybe yes. latest. 'Latest'. 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 ' Nope, this one is also not working. Akash Giri CSE. Is this the name? AKASHGIRACSE. Jupyter dash notebook. Jupyter dash. Oh, it is minimal notebook. Sorry, I should use Jupyter notebook. My bad. That is why when you are copying and pasting, you should be like careful about what you are copying and pasting. JUPYTR notebook. Yup. And then latest. And yup, it is working. Nice. So I can sorry for that. I was sick maybe 2 or 3 days ago, but now I'm like fine. So yep, we are able to access Jupyter notebook. And if I go to /tree/work, we have all that files, but this is our own image. Like, this is not using other image. So container, and then you can see that it is using Akash Giri CSE and then Jupyter notebook latest. And now you can see the logs. Nice. So we have our own image. Now it's time to push it to the Docker hub. So how do we do that? Docker build is done. Docker ps exact every. Yeah, one thing, pip list. So if we will pip list work from here? It should, I guess. I don't know. Can we see? I don't think so. Run interrupt terminal kernel interrupt restart. Hey, how do we open one more cell? Insert cell below. Yes. Pip list. It will not work. I am pretty sure. It is working. Nice. Okay. So what we had extra? Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib. So we have pandas. You can see it was not there before. And then Matplotlib. I cannot show you it was before or not, but it was not there before. Then Matplotlib, and then like plot ly. Then we have plot ly. Yep. So nice. So we have our own image with our own dependency, and we are able to like use it, like spin a container with persistent data inside it. Nice. Now what we need to do? Let's stop this container. Even stop and kill, I do not need it anymore. I just need the image. So now I'll push this image on my own Docker hub. Docker login, Docker push, and then this. Yep. So let me Docker login. I think I'm already logged in, but you need to log in to like to push login succeed. And then Docker push, and then the name of the image. Then Docker push. What was the name of the image? We have here, right? What was the name? Jupyter notebook latest. I do not think if I need to pass this latest tag or not, but let's see. Docker push Akash Giri CSE Jupyter. Okay, so it is waiting, preparing, and it is pushing. Nice. Now what do? We log in into Docker Hub. Docker Hub, sign in. And like I had one Docker Node.js installed previously. I mean, pushed this image, but right now we are pushing a new image, so we will be able to see it over here itself. So let us wait for this one to finish. So it's done, I guess, and let's refresh our page. Nice. So you can see that I have this image on my Docker Hub account, which is public. Now what I can do, I can actually go ahead and do we have any container? No. I can delete this image, even this one. Okay, and then if I run docker image ls, you saw that I deleted everything, so we do not have any image. Now I can run the same command and it will now this command, what it will do, it will pull up from my Docker Hub account. I hope so. Let's see. So yep, unable to find Akash Giri CSC Jupyter Notebook latest locally. So it will pull up from Jupyter Hub. And now, yeah, see, it says that few things are already existed. So few layers it caches on the local machine. Only few things that were not there it pulled. I think everything was like it cached it. So anyway, we are now able to like wait, let me open this. Yep, so you saw that we are able to now access Jupyter Notebook with our own what do we call it, with our own image, and now you can like start working on it. So yep, this was the whole cycle. And you can see that the data is also persistent, so it is not like destroyed if we are like removing the container. So container is running. Even if I destroy it, it won't like go away anywhere. So yep, that was it. I hope it was somewhat like informative for you. So yep, that's it. Ending the stream. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day or night.